Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Detroit Mint Mechanic Automatic Chronograph Bullhead in brushed silver with black dial. Price for this watch is $475 from the Detroit Mint website. I'll leave a link in the description below. So before we get into the watch, let's take a quick look at what the watch comes with. It comes with this nice watch roll here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So it comes with this nice watch roll. The canvas has this little strap on here that you tie it all up with. Comes with a spring bar tool and a bracelet sizing tool here. So this end is for removing the spring bars, and the other end is a push pin for pushing out the links, or the friction pins and the links here. I'll show you the bracelet. Let me zoom back in. Also, there's some spring bars in here for bracelet, or for the strap, actually extra spring bars, always nice to have. Here's the bracelet. I prefer these style of watches on the leather strap, but I'll show you a similar looking watch on the bracelet here in a moment. So butterfly clasp, no half links. Yep, no half links. So this is kind of a hexad style bracelet with the dual pushers here. So let's get this back over to the side here. We'll look at the watch. Also, this watch is offered in a PVD gold color. I'll just show you this one briefly, and then I'll be uploading another video with this watch by itself. It's essentially the same watch, but we'll give each of these their own video. So here it is in stainless steel, and here it is with the PVD gold color. They both have the same dial though. So yeah, there's a quick look at that one. Alright, so this watch was inspired by racing bullheads from the late 60s and early 70s. They were created to allow access to the crown and pusher during racing, and also to prevent these pushers from being pressed with the back of your hand or with your wrist. So the watch is all brushed. It's this kind of a, I don't know how you would describe this case shape. Looks kind of like an oval. It always reminds me of an alien or something, or Martian or something, with these pushers up on the top. Let me know if you guys can see that or not. I have not experienced this style of watch before. It does have an automatic movement. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just taking a quick look at this watch in case shape. No lugs really. No, it's just an interesting watch. Let me know if you guys like this style of watch or not. So yeah, this pusher here is start and stop. So we'll get that chronograph hand moving, the chronograph second hand. The right subdial is your running second, so that's always running as long as you have power to the movement. And then the left subdial here will be your 30-minute countdown timer for the chronograph. Zoom in on the dial a little bit. So this is a bi-compax layout. Their website, they call it a biaxial. I'm pretty sure this is called bi-compax with the two subdials. So this movement is based on a 7750. It's a 7750 clone. So the movements, I'm sure, is coming out of China. And typical 7750 has 3 subdials. So this is modified to more mimic 7753 or the early 7750 movements. So we'll see this pop over here. Nope, looks like it just did. We'll let this run a little bit longer and then I'll reset it. So it is a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating applied to the underside. You can see hints of that here in the light reflection. There we go. Kind of a bluish tint. All right, let's stop this and then reset it. You'll see it snap back. Then we'll reset up here. Oops, don't have a good grip on it here. There we go, reset it. So yeah, Detroit Mint Mechanic. You can see the Mechanic in red there, and then 100 meter there for 100 meters water resistance. I'm a little leery of that. I would not go swimming with this watch just because it's a chronograph. The crown is push-pull. It's not a screw-down crown. So I would definitely just avoid water with this watch. Let's take a quick look at the movement here. So they do have their own custom rotor, Detroit Mint printed, engraved on there. Just have some nice finishing to it. There we go, got the movement to move out of the way. Actually, it will activate the chronograph while we're looking at the back side here. See some things move around. I think I got the right one, let's see. There we go. And then I'll stop it. So we're trying to get the lighting just right here, and then also the movement of the rotor out of the way. All right, let's stop it. And then we'll reset. So the movement is essentially turned sideways. Normally it would be like this, where you have the start, stop, and then the reset. So I'm not sure how they got the dials rotated around. Some magic with the movement there, I guess, some customization. So the crown doesn't really have a way to grab onto the crown, but they have this little groove in here, so you can kind of grab that with a fingernail. Or also if you just grab it and pull it, it gives you some good grip there as well. So you can wind it, or I'm sorry, you can move the hands. So this must actually be cut out for a date. I just noticed, so it has a ghost date position. There is no date on the dial here, but there must be a date on the movement, because this is the ghost date position. And pulling it all the way out, you can change the handset, or change the time. So this is a signed crown. As you can see, it's push-pull. It's not a screw-down crown. All right, let's get this on wrist here. Let me zoom back out. All right, before I get it on wrist, I just wanted to show you this other watch before I forget. Similar styling, but this one I still have on the bracelet, so I want to give you an idea of how this watch would look on a bracelet. I really prefer these on the leather strap instead of bracelet. And I'll compare these two in a separate upcoming video as well. So with the straight end link, it looks like it fits the case, because the case is basically straight across here and the case is on top of the end link. So that would be, instead of, I can see if I can give you an example here. So maybe instead of having a curved end link like this here, you can just put in a straight end link and the case is over the bracelet end link. So it looks like it's integrated in there. And I'll just put this on wrist real quick. All right, let's get the other one on wrist here. Also, there's a tachymeter scale there. And these are subdials. They're down below the surface of the main dial, and you do have applied indices with some lume applied, and also there's lume on the hands. We'll check out the lume towards the end of the video, actually at the end of the video. I do like the stitching on this strap. I have not seen this kind of a third stitch here, just for appearance, but it looks good. It fits the racing, heritage racing style of this watch. So I have a 6.5-inch wrist. I'm down to the second to tightest hole position. Actually, speaking about my wrist size, I'll have to go over the dimensions. Kind of doing things out of order today. This watch is a little bit on the thicker side, but it is a chronograph, so those tend to run a little bit thick. All right, let's zoom out here. Then we'll zoom back in and talk about the dimensions. I'd like it to have a little more curve to the side profile here. It just goes straight up and down. The watch case here is curved, but then the sides are just kind of a slab side. Then you have a nice curve going this way too. So anyway, let's zoom back in and we'll talk about the dimensions, which I forgot to cover. All right, so lug to lug, we're at 46. Case diameter 40. Thickness on this watch I measured at 14.8. The Detroit Mint website measures it at 14.5. And then 20 millimeter. And the strap does not really taper that much, so it's 20 here down to 20 there. The crown is 6.5 millimeter. I'm not sure what's going on with that strap there. So anyway, 6.5 millimeter crown. These watches are finished, customized, inspected, packed, and shipped in Metro Detroit. So a lot of work being done here in the U.S. for these watches. So that's always nice. And as far as the style of watch, yes, the crown and pushers are out of the way. They don't interfere with your wrist, but it's a little more difficult to access this crown and to wind it. So the strap kind of gets in the way. I think the bracelet would make that. It'd be about the same on the bracelet. You can fold this down nice enough. So bracelet or strap, you'll still have kind of similar issue with accessing this crown and maybe winding it or setting the time. And the pushers just take a little bit of getting used to, but I think it's a little more usable having the pushers up on top here instead of having them on the side where you'd have to basically use your finger and then your thumb. You can just access both of these with your finger, so I think that is a little more convenient. So there we go. Let's so the movement also, it's 30 joule movement, 8 beats per minute, and as I mentioned, it's a 7750 clone with the 2 sub-dial layout here. And of course, this is customized to have everything rotated 90 degrees. So let's pause the video and check out the loom. Oh, before I do that, please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. Like the video and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this watch, the company, the brand, whatever you guys want to talk about. Put it down in the comments there. I'll be sure to reply to your comment. All right, so on the left we have the Detroit Mint Mechanic Bullhead chronograph, and on the right my Seiko SKX009. Not really a fair comparison comparing a dive watch to a vintage style chronograph, but it's what I have for reference. So the loom's, I mean, it's all right. It's not great, but I don't think you're necessarily buying this watch for the loom. So there we go. There's a quick look at the loom, and that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for taking the time, and thank you for watching.